All right, buddies, let's get at it. It is draft week, big week. Could be a monster week. Will we come at, will it be Friday, and will we be talking less about the young lads who have had their names called in Nashville and more about the boys out of town, the new boys in? What's this week going to?
Maybe both. Maybe they could trade all the old guys for new guys coming in the draft.
Yeah, unbelievable. Tower Chrysler Studios is where you find us today. Tower Chrysler, voted by you, the people, Southern Alberta's favorite Dodge, Ram, Chrysler, Jeep dealer. And you know what? Take your older vehicle. If you have a vehicle, you know what? It's not running right. It's not treating you right. Maybe it's go to Tower, go see Aaron.
Okay.
Say, you know what? I'm looking to trade up. I'm looking to get something with some less miles on it. Something a little nicer, a little newer, better attitudes.
You're still talking about cars, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Less shitty of an attitude.
Younger. I mean, newer.
A car that wants to be here. You know, that
less
sort of
wrinkles.
thing.
I mean, a newer car, less mileage.
That's right. Go and talk to the guys and girls over at Tower Chrysler, and you can. It all kind of ties right in. Tower Chrysler. God love you.
They won't tell anyone you're looking. It's just between you and Tower that you're having a little song.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not going to tell anyone you walk around the lot.
Don't go over to some other dealerships and start blabbing over there that you're looking to make a bunch of changes, because then they're going to be, So it's between us. It's between us and Tower Chrysler. That's what it is. That's what it's all about.
So the Tower Chrysler Studios today here in Marda Loop, but also Rhett, somewhere between Buffalo and Calgary.
We're just north of the Queenston-Lewiston Bridge, fellas, and we're moving at a mighty clip. As the
a mighty clip, a mighty wind.
Well, so the shoveler is behind the wheel, and you said a little reckless. She a little reckless.
She got her army boots on, eh?
She's committed. She's committed to making time.
We've got a flight to catch.
Yeah.
Hates
Not sad to see us go, but let's get there quick.
Now, we were joking last week that we'd have to tune in this week to see how your plans changed. And instead of driving home, you're actually flying home now. They did change.
The convenience of air travel, just the new technologies.
No way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's maybe
unbelievable.
It's maybe not a conversation we need to have on the show. Fuck. So you're driving in a vehicle clearly now. This is your vehicle?
Yes. Yeah.
And you're going to leave it at the airport?
No. We are being dropped, and the speed demon herself will be whipping around and returning back.
Come on. No way you did that. How did we arrive at that?
The shoveler Uber service.
See, I'll tell you what. In my house, we have pink jobs and we have blue jobs. Driving from Hamilton to Calgary is a fucking blue job. I know that.
You got to negotiate, Dean and Ryan. You got to know where, there's bumpers. They got those bumpers at the bowling alley, but you don't want to have to use them too often, right? So keep it in the lane.
How was the weekend before we...
Dean, so great.
So great, yeah.
Please.
Yeah. No, dude, that was it.
Just
it was great. I drove. We went out for breakfast, and I drove to Oswego.
Right.
Oswego. Oswego.
Oswego. I love that music festival. Yeah.
I grate it and put it on my salad.
Oh, delicious. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, you don't want to cut that thick and put it on a sandwich. That's not what you're supposed to do. Grate it. Yeah.
No.
Now, Rhett, you may notice that we are both wearing sunglasses. We are both very cool cats.
At night.
It's a cool cat studio.
Yeah. Inside.
Brought to you by Tower.
Yeah. One of us is wearing it because he gets headaches and has eye issues.
And what about you, Dean?
And one of the other one, no, not naming names, needs to wear it simply to mask the audience from looking at his disgusting eye infection.
No.
I would take it off, but I won't take it off. And you're
show us.
No, you don't, dude. You don't want to see it.
Can't even
open.
Can
you put it in the chat at least? I need to know.
So, and it was funny because I was at Tim the Booze Guy's 40th on the weekend.
I saw a picture of you. You're disgusting.
if I came in and didn't tell people, they were like, he got knocked out because he was going to be piled up at Timmy's 40th. But I was well behaved. I was there for 3 drinks only. He had these sunglasses on. We were having a bunch of fun. Happy birthday, Timmy. But I didn't get knocked out. I do not have a black eye. It's a pink eye.
I don't agree with the picture I saw. It looked like a more than 3 drink Pinder to me.
That's how much fun Tim and I have together. We're such great pals.
Yeah.
I saw you were at another party.
Yes, I was. I drove right from the golf course at Edmonton to a party. And then Saturday at the 40th, I was golfing Saturday with our winners of the Masters pool. I was golfing with our boss on Friday. And I managed to squeeze in a little sip of champagne for the championship of the Cal West boys rookie ball. 24 teams, number one.
No way.
Wins. Yes.
Well done, fellas.
To Coach Phil, Coach Eric, Coach Darren, good work. All the boys and gals, way better than when you started.
Well, it's good that you're drinking champagne for 8-year-old ball. That's, absolutely.
Yes, metaphorically drinking
Definitely
champagne.
how you celebrate.
Did you get us in Rays at all while you're up there?
You know what? Things are happening. I tell you what, Rhett, when you get to Nashville, there'll be all kinds of great news to deliver.
No, I'd be so drunk I won't remember.
You may as well not come then.
I can't believe you're not coming to Nashville.
You know that you guys are ignorant about it. You're going to paint me with the brush, but there was no invite until weeks after you guys had decided on this trip. So, to hell with you.
Also, you've been twice in the last 3 months. I think that plays a significant role as well. That's a lot.
Absolutely. Nashville's heavy.
You're going to need to find another liver on a black market if you're going to go to Nashville 3 times in 3 months.
That and unleashing You're All Idiots last Friday has got me a bit sheepish about where and how I should show my face.
I thought you were talking to Boom Jack and I. What do you mean?
What do you mean? Unleash what?
Idiots.
Who?
The comment. I called some. I think I referred to some people as idiots. I feel a little sheepish about that.
Did you? So what? You kind of flew off the handle, or what?
Yeah, I was upset. I was having a tough day.
Emotional.
Pinder, you know what? Pinder pissed me off. So then
I was hungover, pretending not to be hungover, and he was not standing for that.
Well, I guess 2 things. It's the nice thing about being on a podcast and being on YouTube. If you want to go back, you can easily revisit Friday's show in both video form or audio-wise.
Yeah.
Or we've put together a little montage of some of the best of Rhett from the Friday program. Let's
say.
Probably easier.
Let's see how that went down.
Shit show.
Looking forward to this.
Sell everyone I can and start from fucking scratch. This is bullshit. Fucking playoffs. Fucking deal with bullshit. 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 The shitstorm. They should have traded these fucks. Fucking pissed. Fucking well. Fuck off.
Hey!
Who fucking signed them? Fuck that. Pardon my language.
That's how many F's I have. Play that again. The shoveler wants to. The shoveler wants to.
Yeah, you got to turn our mics off
and tell her to pull
turn
over.
that nice and loud for everybody to hear. This again is a little montage.
This is a shit show. I'd fucking sell everyone I can and start from fucking scratch. This is bullshit. Fucking playoffs. Fucking deal with bullshit. 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 The shitstorm. They should have traded these fucks. Fucking pissed. Fucking well. Fuck all. Shittier. Who fucking signed them? Fuck that. Pardon my language.
Oh, God, that was.
And
good.
that's Red on a Friday.
Yeah.
She said she thought I was talking to my kids.
What did they do?
He had a lady in there with the shitstorm. I was loving that one. That is so good.
Yeah, that's something.
It's not good. It's bad. That's bad form by me. Apologies to.
But
All
here's
the
the
I
thing.
think you were right on a lot of stuff.
You spoke for a lot of Flames fans. Flames
Yes.
fans were upset and disappointed and pissed off. What the hell's going on here?
I'm not upset with my take on things. I'm a little upset with my language. That's all.
The presentation maybe could have been a little more polished, eh?
Yeah. But it was raw, and I think you're right. I think Flames fans are feeling the same thing. What's going on here?
I think there's while there's also the emotions you showed on Friday, which I think are prevalent everywhere. There's also kind of this could be exciting if they, pivot the way I think we all think they should pivot right now.
You started the show off saying, what are we going to be talking about? And what we will be talking about is the direction that this franchise is going to go in for the next 10 years.
Is this a reset? Is this a new era?
I believe that this is going to be the new beginning.
Okay.
And if it isn't,
Hope
oh my, I'm scared.
I am too. And I still think Lindholm, we don't have an answer, but good God.
Irrelevant.
Like I've seen sort of this Duclair for Hanifin thing floated, and it's like, oh, Duclair and Huberdeau, they played together, and Duclair has 1 year left and is a UFA next summer. You've not improved your situation. No. You've just replaced one deck chair for another.
He's old too, isn't he?
He's like the same age. Yeah. It's not. No. Go get some kids. Go get some picks.
They weren't playing him in the playoffs. What are we talking?
Well, he was coming off Achilles, but still, yeah,
no.
It's not. You can sign him in a year if you like him. By all means, go get him in free agency. Do not give up Hanifin, who could be worth multiple picks with this guy.
Now, here's the thing. There's a few things at play. And first and foremost is that it's not as bad as everyone makes it out to be, that everybody wants out of. If you're Craig Conroy and you ask for clarity, and then you get it, okay. If guys, you're not going to sign, well, okay, thank you. Mm-hmm. That allows me to then do business. It's not as though these guys went in and said, I've got 5 years left and trade me right now. I've got 3. These guys, they all have contracts expiring at the same time. You need to address this situation. You ask for clarity. Now you've gotten it. This is not a situation where Craig Conroy is desperate. That he's got to go to Nashville and I got to sell everybody or I'm effed. It's not what's happening here.
No, this is doing what he wants to do, which is asset management. A year away, he's asking a favor. If you could give me clarity now, I can proceed. And for some of them, I'm not ready to make a decision. And do we interpret that as a no? Other is like, yes, I'm not going to resign. I am happy to tell you how I'm feeling. I'm willing to play out my contract, or I'd like to be moved now. And that's Toffoli and Hanifin. The rest we don't know.
Well, but it also makes it easier to. Even having those answers might give you clarity on how you want to approach next year. If Lindholm is still a maybe, because you're losing other guys, it might go, well, your maybe has been influenced by these other no's. So anyway, it's the greatest gift that Conroy's going to get. It's an absolute, what a start to a GM career. It's a pile to deal with. But he's got marching orders in a way, and it's given him clarity on what he should be doing, I think. And now run with it. You don't have to second guess anything. You are restarting. And if you don't, then you're making a mistake.
Real quick, just the clarity from these guys helping direct things. It's at the management level. It's also for these other players too. Like if I'm Michael Backlund and I see Lindholm, Hanifin, and Toffoli walk out the door, I think that helps shape his decision. Just like if you're Craig Conroy, it's obvious that things are moving towards one way down the path versus the other.
And I believe that the other element that is being affected and that is getting clarity is, it's the other guys in the room. And that's if you guys are leaving, then that's just natural. I think we would probably all look at it that way. I honestly believe that it's doing the same thing for ownership.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Murray wants to win. Of course he wants to win. You want to make the playoffs, but this is, it's right in front of your face what's happening. To say, no, well, let's try and put that's not what's happening here. You see a number of guys who are veterans, some older than others, who are saying that they want to move on. Okay, what's going to be left? A couple of veterans and some young guys. I don't think this is going to be a situation for Craig Conroy where he's got some good deals to be made for young players or prospects, and he's not going to be able to do it because we have to make the playoffs next year. I think this is a very loud statement to ownership as well, and it's too obvious not to recognize it.
And there's still a small part of me that thinks he could still thread the needle. If Lindholm is a guy that wants to return, I'm okay with that, but I don't think you can do more than that. Because you're going to be too old too often. I would bet on Lindholm aging well. I'm not going to make that same bet with Toffoli. Hanifin's already said no. Toffoli's already said no. Backlund, you're long in the tooth. Unless it's a deal, I'm not interested. And Shillington's young, and you want to bring him back, but you got to see what he looks like first. Like, I think I've almost hit all the free agents there. Like that, I'm okay with Lindholm, and maybe you could get goaltending and have some good karma and graduate some guys and get in. But we're not pretending this is a contender next year, right?
Well, if it is a contender, it's because they had a run, right? And they found harmony and absolutely turned the car. I don't know even what words to use to describe it, but yeah. The other thing, Lindholm, you're going to base that decision on what your return is for him, I think, right now. And you don't have to move him. And if he wants to stay, because picture this, you move all those other guys that you talked about, and you fill, and you do get quality youth assets in return, and the guys that move up are better than you expected. Mm-hmm. Sure, that's what you have to rely on if you want to be competitive. You don't have to go complete. I'm not against going scorched earth policy, because I just feel like that it turns out for teams. It can, and it can happen fast. And if you get the right picks and the right guys coming up, well, all of a sudden you've got a juggernaut of a squad. But you don't have to. And if Lindholm starts the season and they bring in these other guys and somehow everything's going well, whatever. Because I agree with you, Pinder. I think Lindholm can play. He's going to be more of a Backlund. I don't think he's going to.
Yeah, Bergeron light. Like he could be your second line center and then your third for the last couple
penalties,
years.
Win draws.
The cap's going to keep coming up. And again, he's the only guy we're talking about that they use on all special teams. He's first over the boards, even strength, power play, and penalty kill.
It's still
no one else is all three of those things.
But it's still not someone you want to be paying $8.5 to $9 million in 5 years from now.
Here's
serviceable, but to what end?
I disagree. I think he is the guy you want to be paying. It's the Kadri and Huberdeau at the end that you question.
If you had to pick,
the problem for the Lindholm isn't him being old, paying him 8.5. It's that you're going to have three of them.
Yeah, and you got to remember 8.5,
almost 30.
8.5 in 5 years is going to feel like 6, and that feels like a decent spot for, we all looked at the Michael Backlund contract that's about to expire, and we're like, I don't know. It's been a good deal. Like, he's given you really solid minutes. He's gotten some Selke votes along the way. He always flirts with 20. It's tough minutes, great penalty killer. And what was it, 5 and change? Like, it wasn't as painful as you thought. Yeah. And Lindholm's got more offensive upside and the same defensive responsibility as Backlund. I wouldn't be worried about that contract, but to Rhett's point, you can't collect 6 of those. And you've already got Weegar getting old. You've already got Coleman getting old. You already have Kadri and Huberdeau getting old.
Okay, I thought you had something else there.
The other part of it is just say the same thing. Sorry.
No, I was and the other part where I think they're for Conroy, it feels, oh boy, you feel for Craig Conroy. I'm with you guys. I think we've said it. This is almost a gift where he has a path to make the team better in a hurry. But also, if deals aren't done by Wednesday, then they aren't done by Wednesday. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that, oh shit, your opportunity, you'd like to maybe get some picks out of this draft, out of this first round for sure. But I think the other thing that's going to happen that is happening, and I get it, there's a lot of agents and GMs, I bet, that are testing a new GM.
Yep.
Yes.
100% that.
Craig is such a nice guy. He's new. There's pressure. Look at all these guys went out. I bet you Conroy's feeling the heat. Let's go see what we can do. Hey, that offer that we made, let's take a little off the table and see what we can do. They are going to absolutely be trying to flex on Craig Conroy right now to see just where he at. What are you able to withstand mentally? And what kind of, can you handle the pressure? And I think that he can. I think that he's a guy right now that sees that and is like, no, I don't need to make 6 deals by Wednesday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. You don't. If the deal isn't good, hey, pack your shit and I'll see you at camp. And then you don't have a no trade clause, so we'll see how it goes.
Or we talked to someone on July 4 when they miss out on free agency. They were looking to plug a hole. Someone else outbid them. Okay, now I do need a D-man. We'll revisit the Hanifin. I would love to see them add in this class, but there's a lot of parts here. They don't have to do all of their work this week. I'd like to see some of it done. It would help.
Yeah, you believe in the draft. That's why you're anxious to get things done now.
100%.
But I think he's got to take a page out of Sakic and Stevie Y's book. There were times where Sakic and Stevie Y both had situations going on. It was O'Reilly, wasn't it, in
Colorado.
Colorado?
Yeah.
Duchesne in
And-
Colorado as
and-
well. Those are two
No,
untenable
was it
spots.
Duchesne? It might have been. I think it was Duchesne. Sorry. And then in Tampa, it was
Jonathan
Drouin.
Drouin. Yeah.
That's right.
And
talked about
they
that
just
Friday.
said, "Well, you can." Sorry, we'll wait and see. And myself included, we all thought, man, they are going to get held over a barrel, and they're going to get screwed, or they got to get something done. They waited it out, and guess what? Turned out real good for them.
Yeah, no, it was they've waited too long on Duchesne. They can't win this deal, and for Stevie Y, it's like, look at this number 3 or 4 overall pick. He's going to sit out a season. He's threatening to do. Like, there's no way they get value back. He turned Drouin into Sergachev, a much better player, and in Denver, Joe Sakic got Bowen Byram with the 3rd overall pick plus with Sam Girard and the Nashville stuff as well. Like that was a sensational couple of trades, to your point.
Now, part of the thing, just with the Drouin specifically, is he wanted out. He wasn't playing well at the time, and it was get into the lineup and play well so that we can get something for you. For Tyler Toffoli, this is kind of max value, I think, for him. If you get something that you can that makes a lot of sense, I think you pull the trigger. But if you look at it and this doesn't really make sense for us, this player, he's expiring in a year. Start the season. Hey, Tyler, we'll see you in camp. Get in there, start playing, and we'll see what we can do for you when we get into the season. Maybe teams have injuries. Maybe we get to the deadline, but
he might be more valuable at the deadline.
Yeah, there's no need for the Flames to take a deal they aren't happy with.
I think especially when you talk about Backlund, Zadorov, Tanev, like those guys feel like in season that they can suit some needs where they might not be another team's first choice in June or July, but at the deadline, we lost a dude to a knee injury. God damn it, we need someone that can play 25 minutes. Chris Tanev, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's
the downside to any of that is just avoiding injury for those players. Like that's 100%. The gamble.
And that's why I think you'd like to not do it with Lindholm and Hanifin. And Hanifin stated his preference. We don't know yet on Lindholm, but those are the ones where you're losing the most if something goes sideways. Those are your 2 most important chips. If they could arrive in camp with clarity or resolution in both those situations, it's harder to screw this whole thing up because those are the 2 most valuable things you have in your hands. If somehow Backlund gets hurt and you trade him for another, you say, well, maybe we could have got a second, but you know what? That was a hell of a 15, 18 years, whatever it is.
Take your $5 million.
Use the cap space.
Yeah, that's a first round pick that did well. Thanks. That was great.
Yeah, no, it was. And it wasn't the straight linear 1 year a little better than the next, but eventually, damn it, that was a good player for a long time.
Would love to know though, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of offers they're getting, what they've seen so far. My guess would be it's probably not. I think that there's going to be a lot of teams slow playing. They are not coming with anything close to their best offer right now, just to see what Conroy's going to do. I almost wonder to a certain extent if his good nature, it's because we always kind of laugh about Burke when he didn't trade Camilleri, and he says you got to establish yourself, you got to draw a hard line, or other GMs are going to know that they can just lean on you and have you break at the 11th hour. I think that Conroy is going to have to do it.
Yeah,
that's why he's got the. You know what I mean? Like he might be anxious, but those guys sitting beside him, Maloney and Notice, they should be saying, "Whoa, hey,
you're good,
big fella. Take it easy. We're good. We're good."
The other thing is, if it's me trying to work a deal with Dean and there's really no one else interested, that's a spot where I think GMs are really going to lean on Craig. If you've got 5 teams bidding for Noah Hanifin, fellas, best offers by this time, and if it's not good enough, we're not moving him. I mean, that's a situation where I worry less about him getting fleeced or feeling the pressure. If you get a bidding war, those GMs should feel competition against each other, not this need to hose Connie.
To me, I find it interesting. There was that rumors of a big deal going down between a bunch of teams over the weekend, and it didn't turn out because of Krug or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's to me when you have this many pieces. How complicated do you want to get? Because and who else is if you start making these moves, who else is available? Everyone? Is Markstrom in the game?
He's got the no move, and he said that he wants to come back. So I think that's way down the road. But I get your point. Like if you're going to
maybe
rebuild,
Markstrom.
No one that should be off limits, right?
Yeah, if it's not Mark, I'm just throwing a name out there. But right, like Buffalo, and I go back to Buffalo because of their needs. They need a goal. They've got a kid who's a goaltender that's supposed to be really good, and they need defensemen. Like a Hannafin Markstrom to Buffalo would be. Now I don't know what they have for assets. I'm just saying Conroy's moving enough pieces that it could get. Do you want to get complicated, or is that a bad idea, or is that the best idea? Right? Like there are a lot of things I think you could try and it's stupid to compare it, but if you play fantasy baseball or fantasy, you start going down the GM path and having all these. Well, if I move this guy, then I could pull this over here. If we move a trade, right? Like there's a lot of pieces to try and juggle, or you can try to juggle a lot of pieces.
I think for clarity's sake, Noah Hannafin's your most valuable piece that you've got a hard answer on. That's where you start. And if you need to add other things, sure. But to not overcomplicate things, you start with Hannafin. You look for clarity on Lindholm. Toffoli's already told you, like that's where you start. And if you haven't got around to Backlund by the time August rolls around, that's fine by me. If someone else wants him added in a deal, okay, now he's added in.
And to me, the only urgency for any of those guys is a draft pick in the first round this year.
Yeah.
Maybe second round, but that's the only pressure point to me is if there's no picks included, then I'm going to sit and wait.
Yeah. And Buffalo holds pick 13, Rhett. You know that organization. Number 13 is going to be a good player. I'm sure they love good young players. But I think that it's also a point in every organization's life cycle where they say, this is the time we need to add veterans. We don't need a kid that's going to be really helpful and hitting his prime in 4 or 5 years. Is it now? Same question with Detroit. They hold 2 picks. I looked at it today. There's 9-10 picks that have already changed hands in this first round. People know they're valuable, but they're also moving.
One other thing I'll get to in a minute. Just want to talk about St. Eugene Golf Resort and Casino. Championship golf course, casino, spa, restaurants, fresh air, tranquility, peace and quiet, unless Pinder is there. In which case, then
they have a very
it's time to discover or rediscover the St. Eugene Golf Resort and Casino. steugene.ca is the website. It's whatever you want it to be. Do you want it to be a golf trip? It can be. Do you want it just to be, we're going to decompress and get away from the city and just get to the mountains and chill? Then you can do that too. At Twitter, at Instagram, at St. Eugene Resort is the social media. And book in now for both golf, hotel, whatever it is, steugene.ca. Can't wait to get out there looking like July. Might be the time. Just talking about, because we've talked about going back to last week, and is there another way to, I guess, 2 things. Can you solve more of your issues because maybe some of these guys are so sought after, like a Hannafin, the trouble being that probably the other things you want to do are big, big money. And I think we saw one of those deals on the weekend that show you how hard it is to move money. And basically Barry Trotz said that. Ryan Johansson to Colorado for Galchenyuk, who's a UFA, who they're just going to. So basically they traded Ryan Johansson, ate half of the money
just to get rid of him,
just to get money back, to find space on their cap. It's really, really hard. And he basically said, we're just kind of projecting out from here. I saw an article, I think it was on the Athletic this morning. We were paying him $8 million. We're eating half. So yeah, there's $4 million of our cap going, but we're getting $4 million back. And we just feel like moving forward, that $4 million is going to be very, very valuable. And they'd rather do that in a way, losing a trade, if you want to call it that, instead of giving up picks or prospects.
It was time there, and I think that helps with Barry Trotz's fresh start. If he's saying we're paying a guy to be a number 1 center, that's not it, and maybe he's not the culture setter in the room, or maybe not the identity that we want to play with, let's cut bait. Let's get $4 million of cap space and start collecting with our identity type guys. And for Johansson in Colorado, I'd like slide in behind Nathan McKinnon. That's a lot easier matchups, right?
And for them, $4 million for
Guy that could be a point per game if he's right.
Yeah, so they kind of got a centerman almost for free because Galchenyuk's right.
Well, and that's the Nazem Kadri hole they never filled, right?
Yeah.
They never really replaced that number 2 center.
So it's hard to get that money going, Red. It's difficult. And I guess I'm going to ask you this, and this is maybe a question for next week or later this week once we know. But if these deals don't get done, if maybe one of these deals gets done, how uncomfortable are you? Because I know we had, I think, the montage you saw there, how you were quite animated about it, about guys that don't want to be here. How many of these guys are you willing to bring back next season in a situation where maybe no one was giving you a good, fair value? You are not desperate. Hey, come back to camp and we'll see what we can do for you next year. Who of that group, or how many of that group, are you okay bringing back into the dressing room, albeit for 1 year max?
Well, I think that my assumption is that it's going to be tough to make the playoffs. If we move everyone, it's going to be tough to make the playoffs anyway. So if they all come back and the room's no good and we don't make the playoffs, how much worse off are we?
Yeah. I guess I just mean in terms of that, the attitude, because you talked about the room. Yeah.
I know the attitude will suck, but we're not making the playoffs. So if you all had a shitty attitude last year and it's not going to change, we're not going to be in a worse spot than last year. And even if we are, the expectation is not to make the playoffs. Play it out. Play the piss out of the guys you want to move. Try and move them at the deadline and go from there. The other thing I said on Friday was some of these guys need to have their feet held to the fire. That Pierre-Luc Dubois second request to leave and never shows up and gives you his all consistently anyway. I also said, play hardball with these guys. You don't have to give and give and give. And that's a great lesson for Conroy, or standard for Conroy. You don't get to dictate. You signed a contract, show up and play. Now, will it result in a playoff run or a Stanley Cup? I'm skeptical, but you got a new coach. The coach was the problem. So you got a new coach in the room. Let Huska do his thing. Maybe the guy's got the answers.
Well, he's been there, and the people that knew this way more than us in terms of management, they picked him. So there's got to be some hope that he can solve some of the issues that were there that remain. And I'm with you. Like, put Huberdeau on the wing that he wants to play and give him 23 a night, not 18. And if he sucks still, it's on him. But the onus is on the players now. It's not. There's no more excuses and pointing fingers. Nazem Kadri, look in the mirror. You were dog shit after the All-Star game. Jonathan Huberdeau, look in the mirror. You were a point per game 4 seasons in a row coming into Calgary, and you looked the shadow of yourself. The coach is gone. That was your excuse. Now it's time to play better.
So to answer your question, if you don't get the return that you think is sufficient, then carry on.
Yeah.
Because it's going to resolve itself in a year, right? Yeah. Not Kadri or Huberdeau, but all those other free agents, it's going to resolve itself. Even like Frank has said it, it's not the approach I would want, but if I'm going to dump guys, I'll wait till mid-season or the deadline to dump guys for nothing. If what I'm getting in return is nothing this year, well, I'll wait.
I have to think, if only because we've looked at that UFA crop of defensemen, it's not great. And now you've got Noah Hannafin available.
Yeah.
You know, whether or not he would come back, I mean, it's not that. He just says he's not going to re-sign in a year's time. I think that there's an opportunity sooner than later. I don't know if that's the case with Toffoli. Because I think if you're a contending team, what is Toffoli?
He's a guy who's worth 30. I know that.
There's something else to consider with all these guys on last year's contract. When do players typically play their best?
They'll be motivated, right?
Yeah.
Big time.
Huh?
Career years and contract years.
Yeah, none of those guys are looking at not getting another contract in a year.
Right.
Yeah. They all want to get paid.
Play well.
Yeah,
and look, the cap's going up. You're in a great spot. Have a great year, please.
Yeah. Come on in, Ryan. Play the piss out of these guys. Hey, you guys, I know you're not coming back. You have the best year of your lives. Go ahead. I wish you all the best with the free agency and so. Play the piss out of them. You guys go have great seasons. I'll move you at the deadline. See ya.
Yeah. Nikita Zadorov, if you want to pick any city you want to play in and make a shitload of money, prove you're a top 4 this year and have a sensational season. I don't know that he can do it, but it's all there for you, all the opportunity.
Yeah.
Tyler Toffoli, score 35 and pick your spot. I mean, maybe he has to do that elsewhere because he's requested out. Same thing, Michael Backlund. You want to score 20 and get sulky votes? You're going to pick your spot in the summer. Go get it.
Yeah, all I was saying with Toffoli was
I'm not sure if the market's as robust.
I just don't know if it's a this week deal.
I
almost
think
wonder
it is.
if he's a guy, like you say, he's going to come back. And I don't know who.
Well, he was the one that said I'd like to be traded.
Depending on who.
He's
No, I just mean next year he's got to come back. If you don't trade him, he's got to come back.
Yes.
I don't know that he can put up those numbers if Lindholm isn't here, but I don't know where.
Totally fair.
If you're a contending team, you probably have some other things, or you think you're a contender, and then maybe you get a Toffoli.
The shitty part for Tyler Toffoli is, and it might have been effed up last year. They should have traded him. But the shitty part for Tyler Toffoli is what we talk about. Do you want to sign him long term? Moving forward, are you expecting 35 a year for the next 10 years or 5 years? I'm not.
No.
Yeah, and there's other
Right?
teams
So
that they might not be interested because it's like they only need a year.
I think
like
exactly.
If you're the Devils, that's
it.
a perfect guy to add. If you're the Rangers, you're just
Yes.
losing Tarasenko and Kane. If you're Toronto, I know there's other areas, but that's a value contract. If you're St. Louis, you've got 3 firsts. Use one of 25 or 29 to bring in a 35-goal guy. If you're Colorado, add another second liner that can score with you. I mean, I think there'll be a market for Toffoli. It was only a year and a half ago that he was moved for a first and a fifth
to me, that's
and another asset.
And that has to be the price, right? If
First
you don't
plus.
get it a first plus,
Yeah.
you don't trade him.
Yeah,
right now.
And look, part of that deal was Tyler Pitlick and his money getting eaten by Montreal, and another part of it was you're getting 2 seasons and theoretically, 2 playoff runs out of Toffoli, or 3 if you went all the way through. But I still think with the cap being so tight, there is nowhere you can shop and find a 30-plus goal guy at his price range. It's not even close. And you want to really sweeten the pot, eat half, make him $2.5 million, $2.25 player. Like you'll get a first plus for sure.
I think that's where the secret sauce is. What's Mr. Edwards want to spend on paying for other people's players? Because if he's willing to eat money this year, I think you are. I think it's if you're moving guys out and you create that cap space and you'll eat some of it for those teams to take these guys on. The rewards will be huge.
You're dancing. Yeah. Because all of a sudden, instead of talking to 1 or 2 teams, it might be 5 red. Right?
Yes.
And honestly,
you want Tyler Toffoli for $2 million? Sure. Or whatever. You got to eat half. Like, we'll eat half. Right? Like Michael Backlund.
I agree.
Same thing. Yeah. But it's going to be up to Mr. Edwards. What are you willing to eat? Like, that's.
Yeah, it's eating, and in a way, it's not like it's moving.
You know what you're doing? You're investing in the future is what you're doing. You're paying. Yeah, you're paying for a draft pick. I'm gonna give you $2 million for that draft pick. Okay, well, let's do it.
To further Rhett's point, next year when all these guys are off the books and you've got a bunch of cap space, bring someone in at the deadline that's on the last year of his contract with a second rounder. Remember how you gave Sean Monahan away with a first just to get rid of his money? Be that team for a year.
Do it again.
Keep doing it. And then when that new rink opens, that shiny new cash machine, your team might be real good. And then that is, I mean, I don't think we have to explain to Murray Edwards about making money. He's better at it than maybe anyone else in the history of our province. That's a windfall there if you can have a really good young team in a new building.
And honestly, I just think, we talk about ownership and all of that. I just think it's too obvious. This is a huge shift. This isn't one player leaving and you got a bunch. It's obvious. It's clear what's happening. And like you say, all of it makes sense. It just makes too much sense for the owner to dig his heels in and say, no, I
but it's also easy.
Guys. Like
it's also easy for us to say, hey, spend 10 on nothing. Come on. It's for the future.
But it's not as though it's money he wasn't already spending.
You're already committed to spending it. In this
right?
They've been a cap team every year that Brad Treliving was here, and no one's worried about them not being a cap team.
You're not wanting to buy him out, remember, which is money down the road. It's
yes.
For this year, money of contracts that you've already committed to spending. I know what you're saying, but I think that's easier than swallowing. Hey, let's buy out the final 4 years of this deal. Yeah, it's 8 years of money, but
very different.
But yeah,
1 year of pain for a lot of gain in theory.
I can't believe they hired Conroy, not us.
Well, I mean, Brett, can you get a special advisor status? Iggy got one of those.
Handing them out like candy.
You give a few badges. You get a little pin on your jacket. Yeah. Special advisor.
Anybody.
Yeah. I'll try.
I've been watching the screen and seeing things passing by
quickly
on the passenger side. Yeah, you're running at an incredible rate here.
Brisk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, we slowed down to 125, and it feels like we're crawling now. So that's
miles an hour. Wow, jeez.
Wow. Like look at the shit just blowing by. Ying!
It's overpass.
Yeah. Shoveler Verstappen there behind the wheel. Let's do the Pinder report. It's a presentation of Village Honda. They want to buy your ride. Even if you don't buy theirs, they want to buy your ride. Top trade-in appraisals, payment in 24 hours, stress-free, and for a limited time. Get a family ticket bundle for Cavalry FC. Get your complimentary appraisal done today. Go online, villagehonda.com. Village Honda with the Pinder report.
Fellas, big week in Flamesland.
Let's see your eyeball. Let's see your eye.
No, we're not doing the
Show Rhett your eye.
Honestly, it's gross. I will send you a private message. I will slide into your DMs with gross pussy.
It's making noise. I can hear it from here. It's gross. Yeah.
How am I going to get through customs?
We don't know the answer. Let's start with the Flames news. We talked about all of it. If you're looking for just a primer on what the hell could be happening, our boy Bob Germany looking at 4 draft day trade proposals involving the Flames. That's worth a read on Flames Nation. Lots of stuff there, as including Calgary. Born, local, raised, groomed, developed, draft potential guys. Lots of Calgary and Flames focused content as we head towards the draft. Round 1 is Wednesday night. Thursday, rounds 2 through 7. We will be in Nashville. Live shows Wednesday and Thursday. And we're going to draft primer tomorrow with Byron Bader of hockeyprospecting.com and Joel Henderson, Hendo, of Future Considerations Hockey. Lots happening in the NHL, Rhett. We talked about it. Ryan Johansson on the move to Colorado. Half the money eaten by Nashville. Couple of years left. He will slot into that second line center position with the Avs, who are without Gabe Landeskog, who still have Rantanen, McKinnon, Makar, etc. It's a good team, a cup contender, and it seems like a better spot for Johansson line. Other deals that were rumored to be close, you alluded to one, Rhett. It sounds like Torrey Krug wouldn't waive, and if he did, well, then maybe Kevin Hayes could be in St. Louis, and if that was the case, well, then all these other deals are going to get done. That's one that's hung up, and we're waiting to see if there's resolution. Other ones that feel like there's a lot of smoke and may get done. Pierre-Luc Dubois to the Kings. They sent Dursey to Arizona to clear cap space, the defenseman. Kings aren't sitting around. That's a couple aggressive moves they made. First, getting rid of the Cal Peterson money in that Provorov deal, re-upping Gavrikov, and now moving out Dursey, making room financially for, well, maybe it's Pierre-Luc Dubois.
And word this morning that Montreal, which was always rumored as a fit for Dubois, obviously, have maybe circled back around to see just how serious Winnipeg is about sending him to Los Angeles, because maybe there's a chance. So that draft is what, Wednesday night?
Wednesday night.
Still time.
I would think there's that could be done by then. Another deal that we're hearing, and I think there's some confusion about the legality of it. Tony DeAngelo, remember how unloyal the Canes are? And it's like, screw you. If it's not a deal, we're not interested. We're about winning, and if you don't fit, you don't fit. You're too expensive. Get out of here. They got assets for Tony DeAngelo. The Flyers re-upped him, and now it sounds like they might be buying him back at a fraction of the price. But there is some complications with bringing a guy back on a deal that you had, and other teams getting money. So I don't know if we'll get resolution on that as well. But imagine Tony D coming back and Philly paying half the ticket for him to be on the Canes again.
Yeah, Pierre LeBrun had a little bit on that because they don't want you circumventing the cap. Oh, you traded him here and then we'll eat money and we'll send him back to you. I think July 9th was the date that went down.
The
so
year passes.
In theory, they could wait until July 10 or whatever, and the year's passed. But
and Kevin Hayes very much a name that Frank Seravalli's had out there for months. St. Louis interested in him. Krug was going to go. But, I mean, there's lots happening here. It feels like we could have a few whoppers by the time round 1
Flame broiled. Do you like the Whopper, Rhett?
I'm done with the fast food. I'm a health kick now.
Oh, look at this. This is
health.
just on the
also
On the eve of
Although-
Bologna Fest, potentially.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Although I did have a Shake Shack burger yesterday.
What are you going to eat at the
So,
airport there? Health
This
Nut?
Oh, I'm gonna go fish and chips.
so are you 24 hours into the
Yeah.
fast food?
No, 12.
12 hours. Well,
All
good for
right.
you, buddy. Stay strong.
Yeah.
You've come this far.
T's and P's.
I can't believe Conroy's not making deals with his boys in L.A. I thought Lindholm would be a nice fit there.
Well, and if they get Pierre-Luc Dubois, you would have Kopitar, Dubois, Danault, Byfield obviously would play the wing. I really like that. Blake
Byfield might
Lizotte as
go
a
in the
fourth-line
trade.
center. Like, there's lots there. That down the middle, depth. Sabres, you'll like this right now. I don't know if you were here at the time of this photo, but check this out. This is an old Sabres photo. There's Chris Drury,
Yeah,
Danny
I saw that.
Briere, and Mike Greer. Were you there? Because all three will be at the draft in Nashville, and you won't be. GM.
I got traded for Drury, so hard for me to be there with him.
That's tricky. to
Very
be
good
there,
point. I didn't think about that
Yeah.
angle. Surprise you at all that any one of these three or all three are GMs? There's got to be a lot of surprise. All three are there this year. Holy moly!
I don't know. I guess I don't know Drury from a hole in the wall.
That's
Briere was a good dude. Played World Juniors with him. I don't know Greer other than I ran him in Edmonton. Just
Ooh.
crushed him.
Yeah.
But then he took out Roman Turek. Actually, Mike Greer, part of the 2003-2004 run.
That's right. That's how you brought Kippersoft to town. Is
Yeah,
you
he
ran
burned
Mike
right-
Greer into Roman Turek.
I tripped him because he went flying past me.
Right. Playing clean. We'll move to baseball.
He was tough when going wide. He had so much. He's so
That's a
big and
big
strong.
freight
right?
train coming around the
Right, he
outside.
gets to the corner. It's tough. What are you gonna do? Let him just go? You got to take him down.
This Turek is.
Hey, Rhett, we'll kill that penalty off. Don't worry. Those are the ones we kill off.
Well, and he loves noodles, Rhett. I mean, let's get noodles in here. Let
Come on,
Turek eat
Noodles.
this guy,
Buddy.
Next, Kipper arrives and shirts off. for
Weird how
Kippersoft in
Noodles
17.
could play with a broken sternum in net, but not Kachuk.
Taking shots here. He did play, didn't he? What the hell are we talking
I
about?
think I don't know.
Let's go to baseball. Lots there, fellas. We'll start with a rock-solid start by Yusei Kikuchi. It's been a long time trying to figure out Kikuchi, Dean. What the heck's wrong with this guy? Is it the fastball location? It's his facial hair. Look at this. When shaved, an ERA over 5. When he's got the stubble going in the beard, Rhett, a tidy 3.75.
Come on, buddy.
Some great journalism from Keegan Matheson. Love that.
That's
kind
an
of
insight.
hard-hitting data. I love.
Yeah, you got to hide. What's the Harry's? What's it? The Harry's razors that they all talk about online. Get them off. Get them off the razors.
That's right.
Hide the razors.
Team Beard. There you go. There is a young star, Ellie De La Cruz in Cincinnati, who is making waves just up in the bigs for a few weeks now. Rhett, have a watch here. Nice when you're having success early, but then there's another tier of success, which is
opportunities. De La Cruz, right center. Down base hit. Could he go 3? India around third. India scores. It's a cycle.
for the cycle 3 weeks into his big league career, and they're losing it in Cincinnati.
In 2 weeks in the big leagues, post the first cycle for a Red since 1989. Ellie Mania.
Ellie Mania. The Reds have not had anything to be excited about for years. Maybe the odd Joey Votto season. Good for them. Good for Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah, sure. You ever been to Cincy? Oh,
Me?
please don't, shoveler. Don't turn.
No.
Go straight, shoveler. Straight.
No, we're gonna have an accident. Right?
What are you turning for?
Don't have an accident.
I've never been to Cincy. No, I don't. What for? I hate the Bengals. Joe Burrow could beat it.
OHIO.
OH.
IO. The first round basketball player, was it
That
Wembanyama?
big, tall
The
bugger.
7'4" guy. Well, he posted this on Twitter and just reminded us how tall he is. That is him with the baby blue. He's the one that's not 50 years old here, by the way. On the right, that's Tim Duncan, look at the dreads. Tim's got some vibes there. And he's like, what, 6'10", something like that? David Robinson.
He's 7.
Is he 7-footer? The Manu Ginobili, the Argentinian next to him. And then the Admiral, David Robinson, who's 7'1". Next, 7'1". It looks like bring your kid to school day.
Hey,
This
little
kid's
fella.
a monster. 7'4". Oh, impressive stuff.
Yeah, what's impressive about it? The lucky bugger. Like if
Yeah,
I was
what's going
7'4", what do you mean impressive? What's he got done?
He's
You
put
would-
so much time and energy into being tall.
You would be Sean Bradley under the hoop, just getting like 8 points and 15 rebounds a night. This guy's a shooter and moves like a point guard. That's
He has
impressive.
spent his entire life
Being tall.
getting tall. Every day. You find him, he's out there somewhere just
Being
getting tall.
Yeah. This has been your NBA update. Let's move to the CFL. All things CFL.
Ooh.
The Stamps, a whole world of pain. They continue to lose playmakers on offense. They lose to the Melonheads at home in front of just a hair under 25,000 on Saturday. Here's our boy Danny Austin on live from the 55. Little breakdown of what happened and where they're at now.
And then Winnipeg, they're not beating the Bombers. Like if you don't have your skill players, there's not just a bunch of guys who can come in and be 1,000-yard receivers waiting on the sidelines for their CFL opportunities.
And Jake Mayer, and it's not specifically Jake Mayer, it's almost everybody in this league at quarterback, from Zach Collaros all the way down, would need help in that situation. Yeah. There isn't a guy in the CFL that you can look to that would own that offense and just make it better with 3 starting Canadian rookies.
Yeah, I have fans who are being like, "Oh, Danny, you're making excuses for Jake." I don't think Jake was very good yesterday. I also think I got to cover Bo Levi Mitchell's glory years. He always had 2 receivers who he just knew where they were going to be and could go to for first downs.
Not good. Malik Henry done for the year with an Achilles.
Jordan
6 game as well. It's a hard no bueno, I believe.
It is a heavy no bueno.
Yeah. At least we do have good news on the Stamps front. We take pride in being cutting edge and really on the front side of the reporting on this particular Stamps angle. Check out the wheels on the new World's Fastest Cow, Rhett. They had cow tryouts. They weren't messing around. Check out the cow. This is courtesy of Stamps honk John Bender, as the cow is spotted 10-yard line. Watch him go. And here's the Afterburners tonight. That is 15 yards he beats him by, maybe 18. After spotting him 10. That cow can move.
Cow's in shape.
Dickinson just signed him up.
Yeah, the bovine blazer. Look at him go. Whew. That's the only good news in Stamps land, I think, when you lose to the Riders at home. World's fastest cow.
Riders won.
Overtime, though. I mean, good game.
Yeah,
what are you get a loser point for that or what?
Go Riders.
2 or 3, something like that.
0. If there's any, I guess, happiness in Stamps lines, it's that the Elks still haven't won at home, ever. They have not won a home game in 3 years since they changed their name, actually.
They have not won a home game?
It's like
since
over 1,000 days, Rhett. It's insane.
Wow. And it's the CFL.
I know. It's like there's always a doormat, and they've won a bunch on the road. Not a lot, but like 3, 4, 5 a year. They haven't won at home. Like pre-pandemic was the last home win.
I feel terrible for Edmonton.
A little better. Weird how that goes. Yeah. Calgary FC at home. It was their pride game, and they hosted York, looking for a little revenge. 1-1 late, and it's Ali Musi stepping up to a free kick. Watch this, Rhett. This is something special.
What a man.
For a moment to try and secure the 3 points. Game maybe at the feet of Ali Musi, who goes over the wall.
That's a banger.
Ali Musi!
Kissing the crossbar and in. That's your game winner. That's 84th minute, 2-1 Cavs to break the tie. Pretty. And a big win in front of a huge crowd. I think almost sold out, like 45 to 4,800 there on Saturday. Great stuff to hear. Love to see it. CEBL, the Surge were in action on the road in the flat rectangular province, Rhett. How about that? Cavs.
Old Manitoba.
The Surge victorious, and they're back home on Wednesday. Our boy Jack will be cheering them on. So they face the Shooting Stars, a name you despise with all your heart.
Terrible. It's
terrible
lame.
name. Do you like when life mimics fiction? Because it's usually the opposite. Where in fiction and reality. Remember the movie?
Like I get a magic wand?
Well, maybe it's like a character from a movie that becomes real. Because we all remember the movie Happy Gilmore.
Oh, yeah.
This kid committed to college. Check this out. He's going to Ball State.
It's not a boy Happy.
It's an actual kid named Happy Gilmore. Yes. And like Shooter McGavin's on Twitter interacting with him. The PGA's.
Sandler was even.
This is amazing.
Congratulating him on
Good
Twitter.
on the parents, I say.
I was thinking about the timeline. There's no way he was born if he's just going to college now. He had to be after. They named him after the goddamn show. This is beautiful.
yeah.
It has to be.
Do you think he would have like coincidentally been Happy Gilmore before the movie?
I mean, I just think the timeline, like he's the parents, great taste in films. Best of luck to the kid, Happy Gilmore, and he is on his Twitter bio. Yes, I can do the Happy Gilmore drive where he runs up on the TV. He can do it. So I mean, it's the whole package. He's there.
Prove it.
Rhett, we got video of you and your brother. Was he out visiting again?
Trevor,
This is a new sport
Oh.
you and Trev have invented.
Trevor,
Drunk uncle?
You've been training other people. This is like soccer meets volleyball meets ping pong. Let's have a watch as the Warner Brothers. When does this take over for, what was that? Last week we had basketball and trampolines. Look at this.
Yeah, no, we're not good at this sport.
2, bang
What
over.
is this?
1, 2, bang over. Oh, he's going to get it. Don't worry,
Did he use your
bang.
hand?
Are you
Did he
kidding?
use-
No, it's just his head. Look at this bang.
he did that with his head.
Yes, look, they're like digging these out with their heads. No hands. Oh, and a
My
headbutt.
goodness.
Jeez.
So it's like table tennis with a volleyball, and it's hacky sack.
It's unbelievable. I can't believe the Warner. This is what you were doing back in Frontier, apparently. New sport.
Yeah, there's been a lot of big Frontierians love this sport.
Yeah.
Frontierians.
It's at the rec center.
And finally, the shoveler. You know how good she is with the pets. We've shown your cats a bunch. She's got a great little gag that I hope she's okay with us sharing. This is what, your parrot. I forget what the parrot's name is.
What's the parrot's name?
Wow, we've
Parrot's
got
name?
so many pets. So many-
Yeah. Well, have a look. You'll remember her
bird?
name.
What's the
There's so
bird?
many pets.
Peter.
Yeah, this is Peter Parrot.
This is the worst.
But you mean the best?
And I'm
So
sorry.
good.
It's tough that you had to give Peter Parrot away because you're coming back for the summer, and I just hope
Yeah.
Peter's still there in the fall when you're back in Buffalo.
Peter be all right. Take care of himself. Look at.
For those that aren't like even if you aren't watching,
You
just go
can't.
to
It's
YouTube.
too much. It's just you can't explain it.
Go
That's
to
your
YouTube.
pin
All right, I gotta
on
go. I'm
Monday.
at the airport. I'm gonna get in trouble.
See you, Rhett.
Bye.
He's gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, I guess so. Get road trip ready with the essentials detailing starting at just $79.95 from Village Honda. They proudly service all makes and models. Stop in, it's the award-winning service department. Get that vehicle all tip-top, ship-shape before you hit the road for the big cross-country or wherever you're going, a big road trip. Make sure your vehicle's ready for it. Stop in at Village Honda, your one-stop automotive destination in YYC, which is Calgary. They're your dealership for life in the Northwest Auto Mall and online at villagehonda.com.
He's gone just like that. That's Rhett in a nutshell. He was going to be driving home, and now he's flying, and then he's gone.
Yeah, it's yeah.
People are asking, "Oh yeah, what's up with Rhett? Where's he living?" I don't know. I mean, the answer changes every week, and he doesn't know. How can we know?
No, he doesn't know. I'm surprised.
It's not some evil thing where he's trying to string us along. It's just he doesn't know. He's living day to day.
He had, and if you watched Friday's show, he had his vehicle packed up, 2 boys in the back seat.
Like loaded. With
They
stuff.
left the house
Mhm.
for 7 minutes. Rhett turned the vehicle around, parked it in the driveway, and said, "No, we can't do this."
7 minutes into a 3-day
a
drive.
3-day trip. Yeah,
And said,
7
"Nah."
minutes. No, we're gonna fly.
And decided to do the show that day instead.
yeah, it
That's
was-
how we
yeah, he
found
was there
out he
the
was
whole-
on the show.
He was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was you that wasn't there. So what? You were up in
I was in Edmonton
at the Oilers Nation hub.
headquarters.
How does it compare to our setup?
They need a studio like this? Like they've got some rooms where they do stuff, but they're a little tight.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a
And
little
they're-
jankier than
But
that.
at the same thing, there's a bunch of them up there.
It was in a beautiful part of Edmonton. I thought that was an oxymoron, but they're right down in the River Valley. Gorgeous new building. There's
Yeah.
like a little bakery beneath them and a pub next door. Like this is amazing.
And you know what I've heard
Huh.
is that their internet is shit.
No.
Yeah,
What?
they can't get the good internet where they are. It's your internet company.
Come on, boss.
Come on,
Figure it out.
figure it out.
That's disappointing.
Have you got a little FOMO? There's a lot of people in Nashville already. I've got a
don't
little
know.
FOMO. I won't lie to
feel-
you.
I feel both ways about it because it's like you hate to see people that you like, or you even love that are in Nashville having a great time. But I also, just maturing and all this wisdom I've gained. 4 days would kill me. I'm not doing 4 days in Nashville.
Yeah.
5 days, like tell my family I love them.
The thing about it, I wonder though, is if 4 days is better than the 2.5 or whatever we're doing, because now you really feel obligated to go get it. while we're there. If you got 4 days, you can have a day where it's just going to take our foot off the gas, and we're okay because we have more days to do that.
The hangover might not hit till like the long weekend for us. It's going to be so chaotic. We'll be on a plane before we know we're leaving.
I had said, and neither of you guys agree. I was looking forward to doing a little road trip on the way back.
God, no.
You don't need to, because there's no rush to get back. Let's take your time. We're going to drive for 10 hours today. We're going to go for 12 hours today, 8 hours today.
You call the, yeah, what? And tell her there's no rush coming back.
Wow. I don't. That's kind of your department. I don't know what to tell you.
In the chat, someone was asking for a gout update. How was your weekend?
Gout Thursday. Gout
1-0 Thursday. Yeah.
No good.
Friday.
Turned in a hurry. Remarkably good
Really?
in a short amount of time. I don't know
1-1?
how or why.
Yeah.
But right now it's okay.
That's great.
Yeah. Right now it's pretty good. I have had my doctor appointment. I am getting lots of pills.
Yeah.
For this trip.
Get that allopurinol. That's the good stuff. There.
So pills and booze, good, right?
Oh yeah.
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 So lots of pills and lots of booze.
You might see some
What
things.
could go wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get hallucinations happening.
Yeah.
Severe liver damage. All kinds of positive outcomes here.
So tonight's the awards. Is that what it is?
I don't
Is that why
care.
everyone's there? Why is everyone there? So
I believe so, but I try so hard. I can't care about these things.
Yeah.
I mean, the awards, okay, I'm a little bit curious on some of them, but the production of said awards, like NHL players reading off teleprompters, like throw a brick at my face.
Yeah.
It's unwatchable.
Why is the draft Wednesday, Thursday? Do we know?
I don't
this?
know. This is a new twist, and I
Yeah.
think it's part of putting everything in one spot. I don't know that we usually. I believe this is the first time. Maybe the pandemic was an exception, but awards and draft and free agency. I mean, you might just set up base camp.
But you could still do that over Friday, Saturday with the draft.
could,
I'm just wondering
but-
why they're holding the draft on. Is it?
I think
to
they're
get
tying it all
TV
together,
eyeballs,
and then you get prime time on a weeknight.
like again, you could put the awards on a Thursday.
Yeah, and do
and
the
then
Friday,
do the first.
Saturday.
You could do it that way, but I just wonder if they're trying to get.
Jack, could you get Gary Bettman on the phone?
Jack, can you call Gary?
We need to figure out what are they doing here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. It's not so much that I
He's got Gary's number. Right?
care a ton. I'm just curious.
It is a new setup.
If we knew why Wednesday, but the NFL.
Remember they took the draft to Chicago. That was their first away draft. It used to be at Music City Radio Hall or whatever they called it in New York City.
Yeah.
I think this is the NHL trying to be similar, create an atmosphere, a festival atmosphere for a week surrounding the NHL offseason. Awards, draft, Broadway,
Sure.
Shiner Bach, bowling,
Yeah.
puke, regret, signs carving up people's foreheads. I'm excited to get back there.
God.
It was debaucherous.
Oh, it's going to be a long few days. But yeah, we are going to be doing so tomorrow. Regular time for the show.
Yep.
But it will be a draft special. It's
Mhm.
with all the trades and all this. We've spent no time talking about who they might be picking.
We got you taken care of tomorrow, Dan. We got you taken care of.
So tomorrow, a little draft preview. If you care about the, if you're into the prospects, the prospect porn and all of that sort of thing, then that'll be your deal for tomorrow.
And it's not, we didn't get too dense into the prospects. Like we basically at the very end do a mock draft 1 to 16, but there's a lot of talk about if you're the Flames, like what are you looking at here? Like you've got an opportunity to get into this draft. What is this draft? Why do we care? Is it overhyped? Is it underhyped? Can you expect to find a pillar for a franchise at 16, or is it just a tertiary part? A lot of questions and two really good guests, and one from the data side and Byron Bader, and the other from the scouting side and Joel Henderson from
Tertiary.
Mm.
Good word.
Thank you.
Try and incorporate that more, but I struggle with it. Got a little something for you.
Oh,
You and for everyone watching. One of
Okay.
our great sponsors, one of our great partners is the Hearing Loss Clinic. Now,
Mhm.
Travis Rhodes and the people at the Hearing Loss Clinic, they've been doing this for a long time. We've told you about it. You start with one, you build out from there, and you go into BC, and before you know it, you've got 9
Jeez.
locations, 4 in the city of Calgary. And for years and years, you have grown and helped more and more people with address their hearing loss. And it's not any one thing. You can be 100, you can be 1 day old and it's not for old people. It's not one of these things. It affects people of all ages. And they're starting to figure out things that if you don't treat hearing loss, if you don't go and get this looked at, it's not just one of those things, oh, I'll just live with it. It can have other side effects.
Tertiary effects.
Tertiary
Oh,
effects of untreated hearing loss. So it's becoming more and more commonplace, as it should be. You go to the dentist. I've been saying that. You go to the dentist, you go and do this. This should also be in your routine of being healthy and just your routine checkups. Get this looked at. I had never been. I went to the hearing loss clinic because I figured it probably got something going on here.
You thought there'd be a boot or a fish hook.
Wasn't sure what was going to be in there, so I wanted to know are there some license plates and
car keys?
Car keys in there. Am I hearing? I feel like maybe there's a chance.
You were a little nervous, weren't you?
Not sure. No, and again, no need to be nervous. But let's take a look. It's Boomer goes to the hearing loss clinic. Take a look. All right, buddies, the big day. We're here at the Hearing Loss Clinic. We're up at the University District. There's 9 locations, 5 in BC, 4 in Calgary. It's the brand new one. They opened in August, I think, of last year. How bad's my hearing? 30 years in radio, headphones, loud, lots of AC/DC Metallica just pumping into my ear holes. It cannot be good news. But we're here to figure things out. Let's go and see how Boomer's ears are doing, all right? Hearing Loss Clinic, let's go. Here's my thing. Radio for many years. You wear headphones so that you can hear the music and you hear everything. And then over time, it just, you keep turning it louder and louder and louder.
Any other noise exposure through, I don't know, like firearms concerts? Or nothing major?
And it can't be that I'm getting old either. I can't.
Well, no.
Cowabunga, dudes.
Okay, so I'll take a look in your ears, see if there is wax buildup. And then we're going to go into the booth over here. By the time we're done, we'll show you the results on the graph. Okay?
Looking forward
Questions?
to it. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
How's my cleanliness? How's my wax?
You know what? Everything looks perfect. There is no wax in there whatsoever. All right, you're all done.
Yeah? So it was pass or fail?
I guess it depends on your definition of pass. You have some. I'm going to tell you now what everybody loves to hear. This is definitely a hearing loss I would recommend hearing aids for. What?
I was going to say, is there any chance that the hearing loss is from sitting close to someone who talks incessantly, just all the time? Pinderitis is maybe what it is. I don't know. Is there any chance?
I feel like it's likely to be unlikely. Now I'm going to turn them on. So this is your hearing, how it should be.
Wow.
So what's happened for you is over the years, things kind of creep down. And then all of a sudden I go, okay, well, you've compensated over, 15 years, and now here you go.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, I don't even know how else to say it. It's like I'm hearing myself so much differently. And even like I can hear the fan, I'm hearing, like I can hear everything it's wild.
And it's those little nuances to speech, right? If you're missing the S or the T, I kind of think of it as adding almost an extra dimension to the sound as well, because your hearing has kind of stopped at those pitches. So that's what you've been missing as well, right?
Awesome.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm glad you came.
I am too.
This was very eye-opening.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited for you. This is going to be great.
Too. Yeah, I kind of am too. Awesome.
When you first get the hearing aids, that's when you should have these guys follow you and just walk around outside.
Yeah. Well, I have hearing loss, and I tried to blame Pinder, and Hannah was not really buying it. So maybe that's why I'm so stupid, is because I've been missing so much of conversation and talk all these years. And I still feel it's got to be Pinder's fault, somehow, someway. Buddies!
Holy moly.
So yeah, I got a book. I was just texting with Rhodesy today over at the hearing loss clinic. Got to go in. I picked them out. I got to go fire them in there and make sure everything's good to go.
So they turned you on in a sense, didn't they? Like click, boom.
I don't know what you expect, right? I figured there was going to be something, but crazy how much
you were missing.
Yeah, for me it was. I've got the bottom end.
Yeah.
But it's the
high pitches,
the higher stuff that I've been missing. It was because we put those in. Like, okay, so here's what your hearing should be, and it was like I was saying, it's hard to explain, but just every little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took them out, and I just said it feels very muddy now. What I've been used to, because I kept them in for probably about 5 minutes, and then you take it out, and everything just kind of feels. It's kind of like this.
No, come back. Where'd you go?
Yeah, you want to put them back in.
Yeah.
I was gonna share. Well, I'll share the text here. I should have sent it to Jack.
This is life-changing stuff, man.
It's
good.
It's really very cool. I am looking forward to picking these things up. You say, "Oh, you should have had them." I'm like, I would have lost both of them if I took them to Nashville. Like, this is not the right thing for me.
How much do they cost? Because you can flush that if I take them to Nashville.
Yeah. So I texted, got out of there.
Yep.
And texted the woman that I live with.
Yep.
Right away. I said,
your roommate there.
They recommend that I start using hearing aids. She responds, absolutely, you need them.
No surprise at all. Oh, the poor thing.
And then
you've been blaming her for that.
Yeah, and then she texts sorry, didn't mean to be so abrupt, but was that a surprise to you? Really? So yeah.
Go easy on the comment section here. Come on now. They're saying you need a cane for the gout, hearing aids.
Listen, that was honestly, that was the day when I had my first. We're shooting this. Can you try and not and show me limping and hobbling around with my stupid gout and the hearing aids? I mean, do I need a cane? Can somebody help me across the street? But it is one of those things. And just talking with Hannah and Travis, that's part of the stigma is you think, well, it's old people lose their hearing.
Sure.
You just lose it's not. We're all born differently.
Yep.
Our bodies are born differently. And some people you need help for this or that. And some people just your hearing isn't where it should be. And you live with it your entire life. And you have no friggin' idea whether it's good or bad. And then you put those things in.
Zing.
And yeah, it's immediately noticeable. And it's not as though I had catastrophic. It was just kind of one of those things. Yeah, you are somebody that would benefit from these things. So yeah.
My old man started losing his hearing in his 30s out of the blue, and super healthy guy. Like, what's going on? And at that time, sort of it's the stereotype. Well, he's not old. Why is this happening? And he was stone deaf by 40. And then he had got a cochlear implant, and turning that on after the surgery and it all heals up, they turn him on. It was just night and day, the human that was my father. You could be social. You could have a laugh together. We could talk on the phone, which we hadn't been able to do for 5 to 8 years.
Yeah.
And he just like, what's that noise? Oh, that's the dog's collar jingling. Oh my God. And like, oh, that's birds. Like, it was just so much of life that was there. He sort of wasn't able to notice before.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It's going to be wild to wear them, because I was just sitting in the room and there was such a noticeable difference to be out in the world. Like she was saying, you should follow around. It'll be like you're seeing color for the first time in your life. So can't recommend it enough. I can't wait to get these things and try them out. Hearingloss.ca is the website. They're the best of the best. They 9 locations. There are 5 in BC. They have them in Cranbrook, Creston, Fernie, Golden, and Invermere. And then, of course, 4 of them in Calgary. And I mean, I don't know if we're going to, maybe we'll take some cameras, go up there and get them fired in there, but looking forward to this. It's probably why I'm so dumb.
Good on you for doing this, because I think, like you were saying, the stigma is, if it's eyes, I just go to the eye doctor, and if I got a sore tooth, I go see the dentist. But we need to change that stigma.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this thing that we've heard about in the last decade or so with mental health. Like, let's talk about it. Let's not pretend it doesn't exist. And I feel like hearing loss is one of those things. I'm glad that you've done this, and good on you for this. You didn't have to do this with the camera around. You didn't have to talk about it, but I feel like a lot of people will benefit from you having, the pride and being brave enough to do this, because I think you're helping turn this tide.
Yeah, I guess for me, it wasn't even one of those things where I guess it's the stigma. It wasn't about bravery. It's like, yeah, just go check this thing out. Why? If the technology, and that's the thing, these things, I mean, they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and they almost don't feel like you're wearing anything.
Yeah.
It's just so little. And the technology now, it's Bluetooth. You can listen to your music. They replace your AirPods if you want them to. You can have it in it's wild. So yeah, I'm seeing some of the things coming in. So go and check out the hearing loss clinic. Even, maybe there's a loved one. If it's not for you, if you suspect there's somebody that would benefit, like you say, with your dad, maybe a child or your spouse, whatever it is, this is the way to go. This is the way to go.
Almost pinned it on me, though. You tried a few times. So.
I tried hard, but it's both ears, and
that'd be a tough one.
Only on this
heavy burden. I was responsible
for here, so yeah. We'll do our Betway Bets, and then get the H out of here. We are staying in contact with our sources. We will be in Nashville. I was going to say Nashville shows Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but specifically Wednesday, Thursday. 10:30 start time.
Yes.
Mountain time. We are going to be back a half an hour. All of the Nation Network folks are there. So Frank Seravalli does Daily Face Off Mountain time from 10 to 10:30. As soon as he's done, because we're all kind of sharing a set and gear in Nashville. So as soon as Frank is done, we'll hop in there and come to you from Nashville.
Big Save Nick's going to be there. A lot of the Oilers Nation guys. I think there's a couple guys from Canucks Army coming down. It'll be good. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's some fan bases where it's like, yeah, it's the draft. Like, think about the Oilers conversations. They moved their first for Ekholm, and that was a real good swap. He's a good player, but a lot of drama heading in. Maybe something could happen. The Calgary Flames are right in the middle of all this. You talk about Calgary, Winnipeg, Philadelphia, a few of these other teams. Like, there's a lot of irons in the fire, and I would be surprised more than not if there wasn't a pretty big swap between now and the end of round one.
Yeah, I kind of just with how it goes, I'm preparing for there to be less than you might think.
Okay.
Because there's no pressure. And like I say, I feel like for Conroy, unless it makes sense.
Yeah. If you get the deal you like, you do it, but don't rush.
You don't have to rush.
Yeah.
If it involves a really good pick in this year's draft, then I think you have to obviously strongly consider it. But if no one is, if they're trying to screw you, if they think they're going to take advantage of the new guy,
don't do it.
Then F them.
Yeah, and look, maybe it's one of those things where, hey, I see, hey, Detroit, you got pick 17. If one of these three players is available, we're not making that deal. If they're all off the board, we'll do this deal. Okay, well, let's see how it goes. I mean, there'll be deals that are contingent on things like that happening. I think they're going to get a reasonable, I think they're going to get a fair deal for Hanifin. That's obviously just my gut. I have no intel on this, but just the thought that type of player is available. And everyone's going to have the cap space to re-sign this guy because of how much the cap's going to jump. You can be capped out this year. It doesn't matter. Noah's new deal won't kick in until next year when everyone's going to get an extra Noah Hanifin amount of money. So I think they'll get a good offer for him. And I'd love to see them add another top 20 pick if they could. Just the people that do this for a living, the amateur scouts, the draft people, the people that just fawn over the draft. They've been talking about this draft class for 3 years. And they've had other classes that have been hyped up, and then year of it didn't really turn out that way. The hype is bigger than it's ever been. It hasn't faded at all. Yeah. Mishkov would be a 1 in many draft classes, and yes, there's some Russia stuff around it. He might go somewhere between 5 and 8. Shane Wright and Uri Slavkovsky would be in sort of late single digits into the teens in this draft class.
Yeah,
it's a special group.
And there too, I think, I can't help it. Who knows, right? But it might be draft floor type stuff too.
Yeah. Like I say, if this guy's available, okay, we got to do this now.
Yeah, the teams won't know if they're going to give that pick up until right before the pick, all of that sort of thing. So, but yeah, we're going to be in Nashville. Looking forward to it, and we'll have something on the Friday show that will be coming from Nashville. It'll be.
We don't know what it'll be yet, but it'll be something.
Maybe it'll just be 2 hours of you doing high kicks
That's a
on
lot.
Broadway.
I feel like
High kicking for charity, raising money.
raising blood alcohol, to be sure. I don't know
Yeah.
charity. Yeah.
Vina Nova is Calgary's lab-grown diamond specialists, the only store in Calgary that specializes exclusively in lab-grown diamonds. In a lot of cases, 75%, 80% less than what you're going to spend on a mined diamond. They have the same composition. In a lot of cases, they are of better quality, better structure because they're created perfectly in a lab environment. This is the time of year that you get engaged and you're looking for engagement rings. You want to do this thing in the summer and all that stuff. Then this is the way to go. Vina Nova, their location, downtown showroom, second level of Stephen Avenue Place. There's the website, vinanova.com. This is, I think I said it last week with Rhett, just because we do this show and we've been talking about Vina Nova for a long time. I've got a lot of people who are saying, yeah, I didn't realize like we've been doing this. This is kind of a thing, and it is a thing. We're educating, we're bringing it to the masses. No one knew about lab-grown diamonds until Barn Burner. That's what I'm convinced.
I tell you what. Oh, yeah. What? She's quite impressed.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, this is the way to go. In fact, let's bling out this tennis bracelet. Let's go there. Okay. All right. Let's go. You and Justin will talk. I'll go wander the halls.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too.
It's just leave it in the hands of the people that need their hands on the wheel.
It worked for me, and it was, you love having that, that pop when they open the gift and, oh, look at this. It's also pretty cool to say, look, we're going to the store. Look around. We're getting you something. Their minds are blown. Their minds are blown. Second level, Stephen Avenue Place, Vina Nova. And I need to contact Justin because he, through our Christmas campaign, the Top Shelf Elf, he bid and won the pig roast from Bonton Meats.
That's right.
So I
love this this barn burner business on business action.
Does he look like someone who would be bidding on a pig roast?
I was very impressed when I found out he was one of our guys.
Yeah.
He just seems a little too smart and well-educated, and clean and proper.
Successful.
And smart. I mean, I didn't think he was one of our guys, and that made me feel good.
But it's good. Yeah. So he'll have his big luau or whatever with the pig roast coming up at some point this summer. Justin, Vina Nova, good people. They'll take care of you. And lab-grown diamonds is the way to go. Let's do some Betway Bets.
Yes.
Betway Bets.
You going baseball today? What are you doing?
I'm going baseball. Just one today. There's 6 games.
Light slate Monday.
Today.
Ooh.
Minnesota at Atlanta. Spencer Strider.
God, he's been good.
Stud.
I think he's leading the universe in strikeouts still.
I think he is.
An absolute monster.
I looked today on the Betway app.
Yeah.
They had him 10 or more strikeouts. And it was not worth
even money.
It was not close to even money.
Oh my God.
No, it wasn't
10?
close. 10 or more strikeouts.
Shit.
So he is. Yeah, he's been great. Braves are leading their division. Now the Twins have been good as well. I'm going to take Braves -1.5. So by 2 or more gets me a -110. So we're close on that.
Strider in 15 starts, 136 strikeouts. Gosman's in second. He's 9 behind, and he's had one more start. It's like this guy's been a machine.
Yeah. So I like the Braves by 2 runs or more today.
I'm going to make a little NHL draft bet. I don't know if you've checked these out. These are kind of fun. You can do over-unders for where guys get selected. A lot of first round, second round type prospects. You can also bet on picks 2, 3, 4 because we know Bedard's going 1. But after that, there is this. Does Mishkov slide in? Is it Carlson or Smith? Does Fantilli go to 2? What is, Pat Verbeek cone of silence? But there's a couple guys I keyed in on. Axel Sandin Pellikka is a defenseman from Sweden who would be a wonderful fit for the Flames at 16. I just keep looking around. I can't find him at 16 avail for very often in many mock drafts. Plus 140 if he's taken in the first 14 picks of the draft. I think there's some value there. And Zach Benson's put up some stupid numbers for his age in a draft eligible season. First 8 picks of the draft plus 200. That's a really big number. If someone wants to bet on skill and scoring, he's put up some darn good numbers in the Western League.
This is some of the stuff that I love we can bet on.
I know. You get into the app, and I didn't realize they've also got next year's Maurice Richard winner, all kinds of good stuff in the Betway app.
Yeah, I love it. This kid's could take in the first 14 picks of that. Yeah, I'll take some of that action. I like that.
And I had to run it by my 2 draft nerds that we had on.
Oh, you did? Well, it only makes sense.
They both liked it. They both liked that one.
It only makes sense. Get the Betway app on your phone. It's Betway, the official betting partner of Barn Burner. Bet the responsible way with Betway. That's probably going to do it. Jack, do you have anything else Anything else you wanted to?
Nothing.
No, you're good.
How was
eh?
your weekend, Jack? I didn't
Yeah,
ask
how
you.
was
How
your
rude
day?
it
It's
was. Just good, eh?
That's good.
Okay.
It's chill. Went
Shut
out.
up, Jack.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
Trying
see
to
you
do a
later.
radio
Don't
show.
talk
over
to him
here.
again.
Trying to
Try and do some YouTube here, Jack. Come
I'm
on.
muted.
get a word in edgewise. RJ, got to mention our boy RJ.
What a great job he did with that.
He put together the hearing loss. It was their part of the filming crew, part of the film crew, and put together the piece. So thanks to RJ
And the
Great
Tan
work,
Man
Tan
helpful
Man.
there as well, I
Yeah.
believe. Good work from him.
Tan Man doing
Shouts.
some great work, and also probably the way to go out today, I would think, is with the montage, also put together by RJ.
The montage.
The Rhett montage from the Friday show.
It is worth another turn. It's a
So
gooder.
we always like to kind of end the shows back in the old days on a bit of a montage.
And before we disappear,
Yeah.
so the draft primers tomorrow. The next time we will be talking to you live will be from an establishment in Nashville. Buckle up, set your alarms. As you said, it's 10:30 in the morning. You're not going to want to miss these. If they're anything like the last Nashville shows, they won't disappoint.
And the other thing is too, we have the availability, we have the technology. Shit goes down, we will be jumping in live.
If there's a Hannafin trade, we're going to throw up a backdrop, grab some cameras and mics, and come to you.
Wherever we are.
Yes.
If it's today, tomorrow, airport, hotel, whatever it is, we will be
beer in hand at Tootsie's.
We will be able to get
We'll
to
do it.
you ASAP on our YouTube, and we'll obviously spray it across social media to let you know where we are and what time and that we're doing it and that sort of thing. So busy week. And then the week after, we've got some I guess the weekend we kind of got some free agency.
Well, free agent reaction when we come back on Tuesday. We've got a live show from the Grey Eagle that week as well. You got a long weekend to nurse your hangover after Nashville.
Right.
Lots happening here.
Yeah. It's going to do it, buddies. Have yourself a fine rest of your day. A little montage on the way out. We'll see you from Nashville.
Rhett would say Oilers suck.
He would.
A shit show. I'd fucking sell everyone I can and start from fucking scratch. This is bullshit. Fucking playoffs. Fucking deal with. Bullshit. 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 It's a shitstorm. They should have traded these fucks. Fucking pissed fucking well. Fuck all. Shittier. Who fucking signed them? Fuck that. Pardon my language.